Hello, my name is Kit Cabello, and this is another interview section with Heartland Media. We are recording this here at the Q4 radio station. Heartland Media can be heard every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we also have a new show on WCGO that can be heard every Sunday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Today, we are covering a member of the 25th IPO. This is the first time they are with us on our show. We had them on our Q4 radio show that we just got done recording. So for our viewing audience, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, my name is Rosa Esquivel, and I am the director of the 25th Ward IPO. Thank you for having me.
Well, we're really glad to have you here. So I think many of our viewers don't really know what the 25th IPO is. What is it, and what led to its creation and its concept?
Okay. So the 25th Ward IPO is an independent political organization, and it was created by members of the community of the 25th Ward. And basically what it is just trying to get political, I will not say like organic power, right? Building from the bottom up for the people that don't have a voice in the community, which is like a lot of hardworking families in Pilsen, and all the communities that neighborhoods that are in the 25th Ward. And so it came out of the necessity of to have an option for a political option, not an opposition for the political machine that exists in Chicago, basically.
And it's very important for us to at least talk about really what's affecting a lot of neighborhoods here in the Chicagoland area, and that is really gentrification. So we've covered Pilsen. We know that there's around 10,000 plus people being displaced, that have been displaced. We know large real estate developers are moving in. But what has been the 25th IPO's response towards gentrification happening within the said communities that it represents?
So there's a lot of stuff that we are working in the community of the 25th Ward. Basically, most of the stuff that we concentrated and also having accountability to our public officials. In our case, it will be the alderman, which is Danny Solis, and a lot of the stuff that we have done is kind of to fight what is happening in the communities, the gentrification, a lot of the money that is being taken away from the schools. We have become advocates for the community, and yes, that's every day. We wake up to fight the struggle. And when you say there's 10,000 families that are being evicted, that have moved from Pilsen, a lot of these families, 5,000 of those families that are gone, it was because of evictions, right? Also, there's a lot of how to say, like there's a force in the community that is trying to get the buildings and the homeowners to also leave the community and to sell, so they can become luxury, houses and luxury condominiums for the people that are coming into the neighborhood. So there's a lot of development going on in the community. A lot of the prices that these houses are being sold are definitely not for anybody who lives in the community right now, when you have houses that are selling at $1 million already. And nobody that lives in Pilsen right now that is a long-time resident can afford those type of prices. So
yeah, and one thing that's going on in the back of my mind is, who can afford $1 million home, especially in this day and age where Americans, our productivity is high, but our wages are not following. And we recently had Jose Ricotta on our show, and he mentioned how Casa Aslan was once a place to where people can get back on their feet, and now it's become a high-end condominium where just to buy a space in there is a ridiculous amount of money.
That's correct.
And it's almost like the culture of Pilsen is being sold to those as the highest money, all while ignoring the people and the generations of families that have built it up. So when you're trying to speak to your alderman, Has he ever attended any kind of community events or organizations or any kind of public hearings in regards to what's happening in Pilsen and in the other areas that the 25th IPO is representing?
So yeah, he doesn't really attend any type of events that we have in the community, especially when it's like when a vast a vast amount of community show up. He has never shown up. He might send a representative, which he cannot really do anything about it. Like he can just talk, but that's about it. We're supposed to have a war night in the 25th Ward, which is I think every Tuesday or a Tuesday in the month. I'm not sure exactly like when that happens because he's never there to address the issues that the community have. So that's one of the reasons why, as IPO member, and all of the members from the IPO, we have we are very critical when it comes to accountability to public officials, and that's what I like about this organization. We are really independent. We don't attach ourselves to public officials, but we attach ourselves to the issues that are happening in the community, which I think that is how it should be done, and always having in mind that people come first, and really becoming advocates for them, for the people that don't have a voice. Pilsen is a community that has a lot of undocumented families, and a lot of these families are suffering because when it comes, if they're being displaced to other areas, where they don't have any type of protection as sanctuary city, then that's another impact that this community is having as well. So we have a lot of children in our schools that are traumatized, and so it's a lot of suffering going on in the community. And when these developers come and pay to play, they do their pay to play politics. They're actually it's for me it's kind of a bribery, and it's creating a lot of tensions between community members, and there's a lot of stuff going on politically that are having a lot of impact in the community.
Right, and on the show and on our other networks, we talk about the impact of money in politics and those behind it. So these large real estate developers, for a viewing audience, do you at least know a name of some of these companies that are coming into Pilsen and other low-income communities that are, basically buying our politicians and same time too building these ridiculous homes that cost millions of dollars?
The only one that comes to my mind right now is Nelson Hills, which is the one that they were trying to name one of their constructions the Gentry, which is which was a slap in the face, for the community. They basically the community, like PMG is another one, and I think those are the ones that bought the Casas land. And what is happening is that they, in the example of the Gentry, they use the culture of the community in their flyers, right? Like, come to this neighborhood, we have this culture. They have the pictures of the murals. It's like they were commodifying the culture in order for them to, make their building, more beautiful, I guess.
Yeah, and to really sell it.
Yeah, and to sell the product. But at the same time, it's like you're using the culture, but you are displacing the people that have that culture in the community. So that's what the community, that's where the frustrations from a lot of people come from. For when these businesses come into the community, a lot of people are frustrated, because of what is happening, because of what they're using, because their culture is being used in order to promote businesses, but at the same time, not really thinking about the people that are already there. There is no accountability and no respect for the people, the long-time residents.
It's quite clear that some of the local officials, at least the aldermen, aren't really paying attention. Has there been any kind of outreach towards state officials, like in the Illinois State House or Senate, in regards to really bringing this issue up about affordable housing and stopping developers from moving in? Has there been any attempt by the 25th IPO to do any kind of outreach towards your state representatives at the Senate and House level?
Yes. So we are part of a coalition which is called Lift the Ban, which is basically a ban in rent control. What we are trying right now is to lobby senators in Springfield in order for them to pass this policy, which is basically not even rent control yet. It's about lifting the ban that passed in 1997, I believe.
Yes.
So that's what we're trying to accomplish right now, and we are reaching out. We reach out to a lot of representatives, Teresa Ma being one of them, Daniel Biss, he ran for governor. He actually introduced it in the Senate. And last Tuesday, we actually went to Springfield, and we talked to several senators, and a lot of them decided to support Lift the Ban. And as in right now, we're trying to create a strategy in order to, to work harder in that policy to make it happen. Basically, that's what we are doing, and we are also right now starting to support Medicare for all, which we've been doing so, for a while, but it's official that there's a campaign already going on, and we are going to be a part of it as well.
See, that's something a lot of people don't know. Like, finally, you're seeing some help, at least at the state level, from the House and Senate here in Illinois.
Yes.
I think it's a refreshing change of pace, because for the most part, I think everyone here in Illinois, we're used to our elected officials not doing anything or just saying something and only delivering half measures.
Exactly.
So at least at the county and city level, it's still the same, but at least at the state level, we're seeing some kind of action. So with that being said, 2019 is when the municipal elections are going to happen here in Chicago and in Cook County, and there'll be a chance for there to be new elected officials coming to office, possibly a new mayor. So in regards to that, what is the 25th IPO's plan to doing voter outreach and getting people registered to vote, and also building stronger coalitions and actually having candidates that are going to represent people and the issues impacting people in City Hall or in Cook County? What's the 25th IPO's election plan for 2019?
Okay, so as in right now, we are trying to connect with more independent organizations that are out there, such as DSA, Socialist Alternative, and a lot of other IPOs and other progressive groups in the city, and as well as coalitions. And we're trying to build more voters. So we are trying to reach out to more members and make more members for the IPO, and just come out to any type of events that are happening in the community and bring voters registration to create more voters. And also the IPO from the 25th Ward, we also want to create some type of political option for undocumented people, so they can participate in the process of creating borders to help them out, right? It's a space for people that are really from the community, and anybody that wants to be involved can participate. And yes, definitely, we are thinking maybe either running our own candidate for the IPO, or supporting a candidate that has the same platform that the IPO has.
That's interesting that you're stating that, because it seems like now we're seeing more people get actively involved and trying to impact change. And I've asked this question to other independent groups, activists, and it plays a role. But I want to get your point of view. Now, Chicago has a history of segregation and racism towards minority communities and gentrification. It's been stated by many independent studies that it's playing a huge role in displacing people and changing communities. It's clear that the large real estate developers have a large amount of influence over the elected officials in Chicago and in Cook County. The social, the economic, and the mental impact that gentrification puts on working class and minority people in this system is another form of racism. Why has it yet to get the attention of the media?
So definitely gentrification is part of, and in this like when it comes to Pilsen specifically, which is a majority of people that are Latinos that have come into that community years ago. And the reason they move into this community is because there was a lot of industrialization at that time, and the city of Chicago needed labor, right? So that's how Pilsen became a Mexican American community. And now it's like Chicago, the city of Chicago is becoming more like some type of like a tourist place, so definitely people that are more privileged are coming to live in these neighborhoods, and elites, people with money, definitely is having an impact in Latino families, and especially in the area of Pilsen. And they are the ones that actually had to fight for a lot of stuff that is in the community right now, which is the schools, transportation, jobs. There was a lot of the stuff that is in the community right now was not really given to them, but they had to fight for it, right? And it feels painful for people that now are seeing that now that everything is in there, there's people coming in and actually kind of taking away, the stuff that they work hard for. So.
And when you hear about this, you hear about people getting upset and getting angry and stepping up to finally bring about change. What I want to ask you is, what motivated you then to join the 25th IPO? What caused you to become more actively involved? What started it for you then?
So I feel that at the beginning it was because I had to fight for my children's education. Basically, I am a mother. I am I just like a regular person like anybody else. And the reason why I got involved is exactly because I saw what was happening, because all the injustices that are happening in the evictions, in the schools, the closing of the schools, the budget cuts that are happening. And I felt the need to participate because a lot of our public officials are not really paying attention to what they're doing to the poor people and the working class people. And I felt there was a need of putting my voice out there as a mom, as a regular person, as someone that is an immigrant, and a daughter of an undocumented person. I felt that these voices have to be out there. We have to be involved. We have to be talking to the public officials. We have to keep them accountable, and we have to make them listen, no matter how, by any means necessary.
Now, of course, there's a lot of talk about getting people to be involved, and the one thing though, I think a lot of our audience wants to know is, has your organization received any pushback from the establishment parties and saying like, well, you shouldn't do this. Follow the rules, and we'll eventually get to you. Has there been any kind of comment or like pushback from the establishment political powers here towards the 25th IPO?
There has been opposition to our organization. However, I feel like a lot of the folks that are in the group, we are really critical when it comes to um, keeping people accountable. And I do feel that whenever there has been an opposition, we fight it. Mm-hmm. That's how we do it. We are very vocal, and we try to how to say that. Basically, it's about getting people power. You know, it's about giving people the power to speak and to have a voice. And how we do this is by creating community halls and things like that. I think there's several ways that you can fight the establishment, and we just gotta be creative. We can use art, we can use different strategies in order to do that.
And it's very important to note. I think it's to bring about the groups that are you're helping form a coalition with. Mm-hmm. What kind of groups are actually joining your side, or at least standing by your side at 25th IPO in regards to really battling gentrification?
So I feel that it's mostly independent groups, independent other IPOs, other new people from the community, DSAs, socialist alternatives, also other communities such as we work closely with a lot of grassroots organizations. Mm. And I do feel that that's where the power comes from, because these are community people that are going through the same things that we are going through. We have like a lot of people from the South Side that are being displaced as well. People that are going to be displaced by the Obama library. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of closings of the schools right there as well. So we are trying to make a force in order to fight the policies that Rahm Emanuel is creating through the city, which is not helping the working class communities, but it's actually hurting them. We are trying to fight because what I feel is that he doesn't have his priorities the way he's supposed to have them. When you have money to create a police academy, but you don't have money to invest in the education, that's where you think something is wrong. We don't need no more police. We need more investment in education and housing.
And it's interesting to note that when the discussion of the $95 million police academy, Chance the Rapper, who has a huge following on social media, and his own form of power, when he asked Mayor Emanuel about how come we have money for a $95 million police academy but no money to fund our schools, Mayor Emanuel walks out the room, and of course everyone's left wondering, oh, great, that's the system we have. A mayor will leave and not even choose to answer that question or defend his standing on building a $95 million police academy. All at the same time, under his belt, he shut down 50 schools, predominantly in minority communities. Mm-hmm. So, when we see some of this, large amount of corruption, and clearly elected officials not really caring about the people, mm-hmm. That leads a lot of people to be discouraged. So, what do you want to say to people who are perhaps choosing not to get involved, sitting in the sidelines and saying this is not my fight, or it's always going to be like this?
Well, this is what I tell to people all the time. If you are not a rich millionaire, mm-hmm. You are in the same boat as we are, mm-hmm. Because sooner or later, for example, in Pilsen, what I see is a lot of community people that are middle class. They are not going to be able to afford to live in Pilsen anymore. So if you're not like really, really filthy rich, you need to be with us. and you need to fight these powers. And it's this neoliberalism, that we are living in. Capitalism is hurting people, and what we need to do is keep our public official accountable. Like, there is no consequences for these public officials. Like, he walked away, like you say. What will be some type of consequence for him to walking away from the citizens? I feel like there's a lot of corruption and politics, and there's and money is a big part of it. If you want to make your voice heard, you need to get involved in politics, because sooner or later you're going to be affected by all these crazy policies that are being created, in order to benefit the richer people, not the working class families.
And again, it just goes to the point of neoliberalism playing a huge part. We have these in Chicago alone, especially since we're on CANTV. It's a local TV station. Many of our viewers are going to know that you have these elected officials, especially in Cook County or in the city government, who've been in power for more than just 10 years. And when they do step down, they give it to their relatives or family members or cousins.
Nepotism.
So it's nepotism 101. And so now we're seeing all these independent groups step up and get involved and starting to bring about change. So for our viewing audience, where can they learn more about the 25th IPO? Where can they find you guys on social media in case they want to get involved or support you guys?
So if you want to get involved in any, like I said, if you have an hour or two a week, whatever time you have, or if you want to donate to our organization, you can visit our Facebook page, which is 25th Ward IPO, or Independent Political Organization, and you can find us there and see what we are doing. And if you want to get involved, just send us a message and we'll get you from there.
We're very happy to have you here on Heartlands Media. It was a real pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much.
And towards our viewing audience, we have a webpage, heartlandsmedia.com, HERDLENSMEDIA.com. There you could find more about us. We have a Facebook page, Spreaker account, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. We have a whole bunch of other tabs and information to where you can learn more about the team. And perhaps if there is a group or organization or individual or candidate that you guys think that we should speak to, please visit our website. It's really for us to build a strong independent media organization here in the city of Chicago, and we are growing here every day because we have to cover stories that corporate mainstream media will not cover. And that's why we're doing this here and now, to really bring these issues to light. And more importantly, if you want to learn more or hear more about Heartlands Media, we're on Q4 Radio every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And again, I'm very proud to introduce that we have a new show on WCGO every Sunday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. So it's just more ways to doing outreach, and so you guys can hear more about us and learn more about our show and stories that, again, corporate media will not cover. So with that being said, peace everyone, and let us all do what we can to build a better future. Take care.
You're watching Heartlands Media.